wanted to make a video to share with you what I'm planning on making this fall. I have an ambitious list. It's quite long. I don't know if I'm going to get to it all. It might spill into the winter, but I think it's good to make goals. I think it's great that I'm going to be taking you with me so that it holds me accountable to showing up to making the things I want to make. But I've had some stuff on my list for a while, so I think it's time we get to it. Okay, first up on my makers list for this fall is this pile of clothing here. So I have a bunch of stuff I would like to try and upcycle, try and thrift flip, starting with this. So I thrifted this sweater. It's just a Walmart cotton sweater, I think. I think it's cotton. I'm not even certain. Maybe it's not. 60% cotton. Not terrible, but I don't ever grab for this sweater. But I did add this cool patchwork to it that I still really love. I think what I'm going to do is take this patchwork off of this sweater, donate the sweater as long as everything looks okay after I take this off, and then try and put this patchwork onto another sweater, possibly one that I thrifted in my last couple of videos, the royal blue one that you'll see. So if this color works with that blue, I might thrift flip that and put this patchwork on that. Otherwise, I do have a navy kind of like worn crew neck oversized sweater that I could put it on as well. So that's my plan for this, is just simply take it off of this sweater and then rework the patchwork onto another one that I do love. Then I have all of these t-shirts. And when I say I have all of these t-shirts, I have a lot. And I already have a lot in my closet. I got rid of a lot. So I don't even know if I'm going to keep all of these, but I'm going to try and see what I can do if I'm really attached to them. These two t-shirts have graphics on them that I love. This one is literally, I'm so embarrassed. It's a Shein t-shirt that I thrifted, but I just loved the graphic on it, and it says, "And so it is," which is such a nice saying. It just feels so me, but I just didn't grab this shirt because I don't love the fit of it. I don't know. It's polyester. I don't love it. And so if anyone has any ideas of how to upcycle a graphic I like on a t-shirt and how I might make this into something that I do want to wear, please let me know in the comments. My thoughts is to like crop it. I default to cropping all of my t-shirts because I tuck them in. Like, I've always been a tuck girl. Before tucking was cool. Like, my 20s, I was tucking my shirts in, and I'm a millennial, so I'm just going to keep tucking them in. But if I crop this closer to where the graphic starts, maybe I'll wear it. But if there's a better use of this graphic, gosh, I would love to know about it. So this is also a graphic t-shirt that I really like, and I actually just bought this one at Winners, so I didn't thrift it. I'm pretty sure it's just a cotton t-shirt. I'm not sure. If you have ideas, please tell me. These are the two I'm really unsure about. So then I have this really beautiful, it's almost like a really light periwinkle blue purple t-shirt. It's hard probably to see in the camera, but it's a Banana Republic, really solid 100% cotton shirt. It feels like structured. I love the feeling of it. This one I love. This is a vintage Walt Disney shirt. Obsessed. I don't know why I didn't grab this. Like, I could tuck it in and it could be fine. I don't know. I might try again and remove some bulk and like bring the hem up a little bit. If you haven't seen any of Sydney Graham's videos, she released one recently with a hemming tutorial on t-shirts that I probably will try and follow on a couple of these. It's a really cool way to hem your t-shirts up and keep the hem on it. So I might follow that and see if I can bring some of these up a little bit. But again, I'm unsure about this one, but I'm not ready to part ways with it. And I just didn't wear it this summer, so I don't know why. Then I have this button up. So I have two white 100% cotton button ups, which I love. I love these in the summer, particularly in the summer, because they're just like great to throw on top of a tank top if you need a layer. It's just like a little discolored in the arms, and this one's just a lot more worn than my other one. But because I didn't find on my thrifting videos that you'll see a butter yellow shirt, I wondered if I could dye this to be a butter yellow, and then that would be a nice way to kind of like bring some life back into it. I did buy this yellow dye at the dollar store. I feel nervous about that. I'm gonna try and see if this does a paper towel test and if it's like a butter yellow color. If it's too bright, because it is called Brilliant Yellow, but there is like the color on the packaging is a little lighter, more what I want. If the paper towel test doesn't work and I don't feel confident about it, I will go out and get it and like get a proper dye. I've never done that before. I've dyed wool or yarn with like some handmade nature dyes, but I've never dyed a piece of clothing. The other thing I was thinking about using this on is one of the sweaters I thrifted from my last couple of videos. I love this sweater and I love the fit of it and I love the feel of it. And I'm so nervous to dye things because I don't want to hate them when I'm done. I don't think I would, but if I could get this to butter yellow, oof, if that's possible, I might try it. The other option, because I'm going to do one or the other, I won't do both, but this is the other white sweater I thrifted. Again, it's Northern Reflections, but it has this cool print of like patchwork, which I was obsessed with. And this could also be really neat if it was butter yellow. It looks like a couple of dye jobs are in our future together. So I'm excited that you can come along on that journey with me as well. This gingham men's button up I thrifted in the summer. And I just loved the pattern. It's a little like kind of hurts my eyes. So I feel torn slightly on it. And I wish the gingham pattern was bigger so that it didn't read as just like blue from far away. I am hoping or thinking that I could crop the sleeves into a short sleeve on me, like, or like at my, just above my elbow, and then crop the bottom to be at my waist so that it's basically a cropped, boxy, collared short sleeve tee that I could wear. Ideally, this would have been like a good summer shirt because I don't know how much wear I'll get out of it in the fall and winter, but I might have some fall days where I could wear it. But if you have any other ideas about what I could do with this much material that I like, then please comment below so that I know if there's something else I should be thinking about for turning this into something that I would actually wear. Okay, then I have a couple of pants that I bought. So I did buy these new from Old Navy. I just haven't worn them yet because they're just so wide. Like they're really, really wide. So I think they flare out at the bottom too. I think what I'm gonna do is take a pair of wide leg pants that I do like and then take these in at the bottom slightly where they start to go out. So I can already see from holding this up that it like flares out. Probably gonna take like 1.5 inches or 2 inches on each side off of the seam and just bring the leg in slightly so that they are something that I feel comfortable wearing. And then I also got a pair in a darker wash, which I really like this wash for like dressing up a slight smidgen more. So I'm going to do that to both of these, just measure and take the legs in. So I will take you along on that journey as well. Next up, we have our pile of fabric. So this fabric has been sitting in my closet for a long time, at least most of it has, and I want to tell you what my plans are. I thrifted this canvas material probably in the spring of this year and was obsessed with it. I didn't need any more fabric, but when I'm at a thrift store and I see something that I just like know I won't be able to find again, I have to get it. So it's a canvas cotton. It feels incredible. It's got like taupe giant circles, yellow giant circles, and like these more orange, yellow, golden giant circles. I loved it. I fell in love with it when I saw it. I fell in love with it when I touched it. And so my plans for this are to turn it into an overcoat or like a shacket. And I'm thinking about a few different patterns. So Modern Sewing Co. has an overcoat pattern that I might consider using for this. There's another pattern designer, which I can't remember her name right now. I think it's Danielle, if I'm being honest, but I'm not sure. But she makes a camp coat, and I would consider that one as well for this fabric. And there's also this Midway jacket. Again, I can't remember the designer, but I will put them here. So I think one of those shirts, shackets, overcoats is what I'm thinking about for this. Next up, I have this other canvas fabric, which I've already used to make some worker trousers. I'm not sure if I'm going to get to this in the fall or not, but I would really like to take this material. It's kind of similar to that canvas. It's just a little bit softer, and it's definitely cotton. It's off-white. I just really love this fabric for pants, and so I might consider trying to make I think it's Merchant and Mills, the overalls, Merchant and Mills Harleen pattern. I'd love to make some overalls. I'd probably modify them to make them wide legs instead of like tapering in, maybe. I'm not sure yet. I might make them as is, but I would consider kind of bringing the leg out a little bit. But yeah, I have this fabric. I have lots of it. So I think that'd be a really good pattern to use for this that I thrifted as well. Then I have this cotton. So this is not thrifted, but we recently bought some new Jersey 100% cotton sheets. It's like very stretchy material, and it feels like I want to wear it as a shirt. And we don't use top sheets, so we're not top sheet people around here. I do just love the feel of it. It's kind of like an oatmeal heathered gray. It's like hard to say what color this is exactly. I would call it like oatmeal, but I really want to try my hand at some stretch fabric sewing, which I might hate. I don't know. I've never really done it. I've made a pair of like track pants before. I'm gonna have to watch some tutorials and get some of your tips and tricks for stretchy fabric sewing because I'm nervous I'm gonna be so frustrated, but I really want to be able to use fabric like this properly. And so I would really love to make the Saga sweatshirt by Slow Morning Studio. So I think that's the one that I would use for this particular material. And last but not least for fabric stash is the star of the show. I thrifted this quilt years ago. It's been sitting in my closet for years, literally. And it's because I'm too scared to cut into it because it's so pretty. I don't think it's handmade, which makes me feel like a little bit better about possibly cutting into it. Do I think it should be beautiful on a bed and used? Yes. Are quilts hard to come by in the thrift store? Yes. But I don't know. I think it's just time I try and make the jacket of my dreams out of this quilt. I love the colors. Like I can't imagine a more like grabbable quilt jacket. I love a bold patchwork pattern and I would totally still make a jacket out of that. But this just screams to me like neutral would wear with anything coat. And so the other thing that's been hanging me up for years is trying to find the perfect pattern for a quilt jacket. So this is kind of like, I'll show you some of the inspo of like what kind of quilt jacket I've really had my eye on and what I think I would wear. The last thing I want to do with this thing is cut into it, make something, and then not wear it. And that happens sometimes with me with sewing. I'm getting a lot better at it. The more I sew, I do wear and use the things that I sew a lot more often now, whereas before it was more like a practice realm, which is why I thrift a lot of my fabric, because when you thrift fabric, one, you're keeping it out of landfills, you're being sustainable, which is amazing. Two, it's so much cheaper. And if you screw something up or you don't end up wearing it, it's not that big of a deal when you've only paid $5 and you've saved it and you've played and you've experimented. So I'm really now in a phase of my sewing that I feel confident enough to cut into this and make a jacket. And now it's just a matter of finding the perfect pattern. So a couple of the patterns I've been looking at for this quilt jacket that I think are closest to the inspiration pieces that I want, which still might need some modifications, is this Rue pattern and the Flora pattern. Again, if any of you have experience with either of these patterns or you think there's a better one for me to kind of capture the inspo that I've put up here, please tell me, because I am on the hunt. And as soon as I can feel confident in the pattern I choose, I'm going to do this. And I would love for this to actually be my second project. My first project is going to be the upcycling of all those clothes so that I can decide if I'm keeping or getting rid of them. But I would love for this to be my second project that I take you along with me for, because I want it for the fall. I think it'd be such a nice fall jacket to have this quilted, beautiful piece. Also a note that I would never waste any piece of this. So I have a huge quilt. I'd make the jacket I'd have leftovers, and I'd probably make either like a vest, a quilted vest for myself, maybe a tote bag, maybe a side pouch, fanny bag, fanny pack. Yeah, I would definitely find use for the rest of this, but this is, yeah, I love it, and I want to give it the life it deserves so it's not just tucked away in my closet for another handful of years. So please help me find a pattern that I will love. Okay, so that does it for like my official fabric plans, but I do have some other little projects that I want to sprinkle into the fall. Oh, wait, one more that I'm doing. I am knitting my third raglan sweater. So this is my third one. It's got dog hair on it. And I have made this pattern before. It's the Essential Sweater by Darling J'adore, I think. I'm not sure. I'll put it right here. But this is the second time I've knit this. I didn't do the double collar the first time, and this time I did, and I'm obsessed with it. I would love to make some quilted stockings. There's a bunch of free patterns you can choose from online, but I would love a patchwork version. I made a version of some gingham green stockings last year, but I think it'd be so nice and cozy to have like a grandma style patchwork set of stockings for the house. So if I can do that before Christmas, that would be fantastic. I'm not going to pressure myself to put that on like a super high priority of my list, but I think it would be really cool. The other couple things I want to make are like a little tooth fairy pouch pocket for my nephew. He just turned 5. He's gonna start losing his teeth in the next year or two, which, well, he knows that I love making things, and so if I made him a little pouch to put his teeth in, to put under his pillow, I think that'd be really cute. And I also want to make this reusable, or a couple of these reusable festive banners with like triangles. So I want to make it pretty good quality so it lasts, so it's not fraying. I think that means taking like 2 pieces of fabric triangles, placing them together, and then sewing them, ironing them, and then placing them in between a pinched piece of fabric or like bias tape so that it is hanging, so that it's a reusable thing. It's not just paper that people are throwing out every birthday party and birthday that they have. I think it'd be great, a great way to use up some scraps. And then I also would love to make this crown, these birthday crowns, maybe 1 or 2 of them for nieces and nephews that they can wear, where they tie it around their head so it kind of grows with them. And then there's Velcro numbers. You can tell them how, you can put on like the number of how old they are, and then every year for their birthday pictures and things like that, there's a reusable crown instead of like birthday hats. I've got a very lengthy list. It's no small feat, but I feel good that I'm going to bring you with me because it'll keep me accountable, and I'm excited to just dive into some of the stuff that's been sitting in my closet for so long and give it some new life. I think like stuff like this quilt deserve to be on display, so hopefully that means it will be in a really gorgeous coat I can wear this fall. If you have any pattern recommendations, I would love to hear them. If you want to see how these turn out, please subscribe so that you can follow along on these sewing making journeys with me. Otherwise, I will see you in the next Sew With Me video.